Have you ever felt like someone else was pulling the strings? Like your thoughts weren't entirely your own? It sounds like science fiction, but for decades, whispers and declassified documents have painted a chilling picture of real-life government programs aimed at the ultimate form of control, the human mind. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most infamous and disturbing chapters in intelligence history. The CIA's Project MKUltra. What was MKUltra? Officially, it was a top-secret research program started in the early 1950s, born from Cold War paranoia. The goal? To investigate mind control, interrogation techniques, and psychological manipulation. The CIA was terrified that its adversaries, like the Soviets or Chinese, were already mastering these dark arts. They felt they had to catch up, and they were willing to do almost anything to get there. The methods they explored were straight out of a spy thriller. They experimented with hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and, most notoriously, powerful psychoactive substances. Yes, we're talking about drugs like LSD. The agency wanted to know if these substances could be used to break down enemy agents, extract information, or even create programmable assassins. It was a desperate search for a truth serum and a Manchurian candidate. But here's where the story takes a truly dark turn. Who were the test subjects? The answer is shocking. The CIA didn't just limit their experiments to willing volunteers or enemy combatants. They tested on unwitting American and Canadian citizens. People from all walks of life, students, soldiers, prisoners, and even patients in mental health facilities were given powerful drugs without their knowledge or consent. They were observed, their reactions documented, all in the name of national security. Imagine going to a hospital for help and instead becoming an unwilling participant in a secret government mind control experiment. That was the reality for some. One of the most well-known and tragic stories is that of the Allan Memorial Institute in Montreal. Under the direction of Dr. Donald Ewan Cameron and with funding from a CIA front, patients seeking treatment for minor psychological issues were subjected to extreme depatterning therapies. This involved high-dose electroshock therapy, chemically induced comas that lasted for weeks, and being forced to listen to looped audio messages over and over again. The goal was to wipe their minds clean and rebuild their personalities. The results were devastating, leaving many patients with permanent psychological damage and memory loss. Their lives were shattered, their minds broken, not healed. The program wasn't just confined to labs and hospitals. The CIA also set up safe houses in places like New York and San Francisco. In these apartments, agents, sometimes with the help of prostitutes, would lure unsuspecting men. Once there, the men would be secretly dosed with LSD, and their behavior would be observed and recorded from behind two-way mirrors. This was codenamed Operation Midnight Climax. It was reckless, unethical, and incredibly dangerous. The CIA had no idea how people would react to the drug, and they were giving it to them in uncontrolled environments. One of the most tragic figures in the MKUltra saga was a man from within the CIA itself, Dr. Frank Olson. Olson was an army biochemist working on the program. In 1953, during a retreat, he and several other colleagues were given LSD in their drinks without their prior knowledge. The experience deeply disturbed Olson. 9 days later, he fell to his death from a 13th-story hotel window in New York City. The official story for decades was that it was a suicide. However, his family never believed it. Years later, after his body was exhumed, a second autopsy suggested his death was more likely a homicide. The full story of what happened to Frank Olson remains one of MKUltra's darkest and most enduring mysteries. So how did all of this come to light? The program operated in the shadows for over 20 years. But in 1974, a bombshell report by journalist Seymour Hersh in the New York Times exposed illegal CIA activities against anti-war activists. This opened the floodgates. The public outcry led to congressional investigations, most famously the Church Committee in the Senate. When the committee started digging, they ran into a major roadblock. In 1973, facing the prospect of investigation, then CIA Director Richard Helms had ordered all MKUltra files to be destroyed. It was a deliberate attempt to erase history. However, a clerical error saved the day. A small cache of about 20,000 documents, mostly financial records that had been misfiled, survived the purge. While they didn't contain all the details, they provided undeniable proof of the program's existence, its scope, and its horrifying methods. The revelations were stunning. The hearings revealed a secret world of unchecked power, where the lines of ethics and legality were completely blurred. The CIA had operated with a shocking disregard for human life and dignity, all hidden from the American public and even from most of its own government. What was the outcome of all this? Did the CIA actually succeed in creating a mind control weapon? The official answer is no. The final reports concluded that MKUltra was largely a failure. They never found a reliable truth serum or a way to create a programmable human. The research was chaotic, unscientific, and ultimately produced nothing of practical value for intelligence operations. But in the process, they caused immense and immeasurable harm. The legacy of MKUltra is a powerful and sobering reminder of the dangers of unchecked secret power. It shows how fear and paranoia can lead institutions to abandon their moral compass. The story serves as a critical lesson in the importance of oversight, accountability, and transparency in government. The victims of MKUltra and their families paid a terrible price, and their stories must not be forgotten. They are a testament to the human cost when the pursuit of power goes too far. Today, the term MKUltra has become shorthand for conspiracy theories about government mind control. And while it's important to separate fact from fiction, the proven reality of the program is disturbing enough. It forces us to ask tough questions about the secrets our governments keep and what they are capable of doing in the name of security. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's most unsettling secret projects. If you found this video interesting and want to learn more about the hidden corners of history, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.